Wingbacks. Football Tactics Explained. What are wingbacks? Wingbacks are the wide players in formations that use a back three, such as 3-5-2, 3-4-3, and 3-4-1-2. When defending, the wingbacks drop back either side of the three centre-backs to form a back five. When attacking, they move into the midfield line or even further forward to provide their team's attacking width. Where does the term originate? The term wingback is a blend of fullback and winger, precisely because the position is a mix of the two. Three centre-backs were first used in the WM formation in the mid-1920s, but wingbacks did not appear until much later. Helenio Herrera's Inter Milan team is thought to have paved the way for the use of a back five in the 1960s. His very deep, counter-attacking 5-3-2 used wide players who would cover lots of ground on the flanks. More attack-minded wingbacks were then used by Carlos Bilardo when he was in charge of Argentina in the 1980s, before the 3-5-2 became a common feature across Europe in the 1990s. What is the difference between a fullback and a wingback? Wingbacks are the wide defenders in a back five, whereas fullbacks are the wide defenders in a back four. Therefore, wingbacks have extra defensive support from another central defender, meaning they tend to take up wider defensive positions. Naturally, this means a back five will usually cover more ground than a back four. In attack, while fullbacks can provide the team's width, wingbacks almost always will provide the width. In back four systems, the fullbacks sometimes come inside while midfielders stay out wide. However, in systems that use a back five, the wingbacks will almost always be the widest players. What do wingbacks do when their team is in possession? As the wingbacks are usually the widest players, their aim is to stretch the pitch, provide the team's width, and give a passing option for the team to build and progress around the opposition. They will then need to get into advanced positions to put crosses into the penalty area. Here, they bend balls into the space behind the opposition defense from deep, or get near to the byline to cross, or cut the ball back to an attacker. The wingback on the opposite side of the pitch will often stay wide to receive switches of play, but they can also attack the penalty area, targeting the far post, when crosses come into the box from the other side. This can give teams a greater presence in the penalty area, while the wingback can also sweep up if any crosses are overhit. It is becoming increasingly common to see wide rotations involving the wingback. This could lead to the wingback moving infield to attack through the inside channel. A wide forward, number 10 or a centre forward then rotates out. The narrowed wingback can then either look to get on the ball between the lines while a central midfielder runs beyond the opposition, or the wingback can run in behind themselves. What do wingbacks do when their team is out of possession? A wingback's out of possession job will vary significantly depending on how their team is set up to play. If their team is pressing high, the wingbacks can be a key part of that press, usually jumping out to the opposition fullbacks or wingbacks to press in wide areas. The far side wingback may then narrow to reduce the space the opposition has to operate in. If their team is set up to drop into a low or mid block, or simply after the initial press is beaten and the team is forced back, the wingbacks recover into the back line to form a unit of five. With a third centre back present, the wingbacks can individually jump out of the back line to engage the ball more freely than a fullback would be able to in a back four. Although fullbacks are likelier to be placed in one-on-one situations more frequently, wingbacks still need to be able to defend one-on-one. They also need to show good awareness to track runs across goal, especially any attempts to move on the blind side of the nearest centre-back. Which coaches use wingbacks best? Antonio Conte. Conte used wingbacks in a 3-5-2 with Juventus, Italy and Inter Milan, and in a 3-4-3 at Chelsea and Tottenham. In the 3-5-2, his wingbacks got closed-toed centre forwards, but would also be sure to leave space for vertical runs through the inside channels from the number 8s below. This often led to his side converting into a 4-2-4 attacking shape, with the single pivot dropping into the back line between the three central defenders. Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel uses two number 10s in a 3-4-2-1 structure with Chelsea, in which the wing-backs provide the attacking width to overlap around the attacking midfielders below. However, wide rotations are common, with the wing-backs rotating with the 10s to create from a narrower position, or to make penetrative runs into the penalty area to attack the far post. Some of the best modern-day wing-backs: Reece James and Marcos Alonso, Chelsea both below, Renan Lodi, Atletico Madrid Rafael Guerreiro, Borussia Dortmund. Wingers who have been converted into wing-backs: Ashley Young, Juan Cuadrado below Victor Moses, Jesus Navas, Ivan Perisic. What are the advantages to using wing-backs? Playing with wing-backs means having another player in the back line, which reduces the chances of gaps appearing for the opposition to play through. Wing-backs also reduce the chances of overloads happening in central defense and, when used well, can make a defense far more difficult to breach. In attack, they create width to build and progress around the opposition on both sides of the pitch. They can provide a permanent option out wide, to increase the chances of their team being able to put a cross into the penalty area. with support underneath them in the way of the wider centre-backs. Wing-backs have more license to attack, and remain higher in comparison to full-backs. What are the disadvantages to using wing-backs? As the presence of wing-backs means defending with a back five, the consequence is fewer players in the midfield and/or attacking units. As the wing-backs will drop back to defend deep in their own half, they can have too far to travel to have an impact following an attacking transition. This requires other players to reposition and rotate to ensure a wide presence when looking to counter-attack. By the same measure, as the wing-backs provide height and width in attack, the distance they have to recover on defensive transition is also large. This is particularly the case compared to full-backs, who won't both attack as high at the same time. This can leave big gaps out wide for the opposition to counter-attack into. Wing-backs have to be extremely fit and fast in order to be able to cover so much ground and contribute at both ends of the pitch.